Hello everyone, I am Sengupta and welcome back to my channel once again. Today we're going to talk about the very recently announced Nikon D6. Yes, you heard it right. Nikon announced flagship DSLR when everybody thought that Nikon is not going to make any DSLR ever again. Nikon just surprised us all with this new really behemoth of a DSLR. The Nikon D6 will replace the Nikon D5 and will be Nikon's new flagship full-frame DSLR. Now, the camera market is really being taken over by mirrorless cameras. Nikon itself launched its two full-frame mirrorless last year, the Z6 and the Z7. So the D6, does the D6 really have a chance in this market to be successful and to survive? Now, here are the few things I think that D6 should have to succeed in this mirrorless dominating market. But before we get started, if you're new to this channel, please do subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon so that you get notified about all the new videos I upload on this channel. And now that you have done that, let's get started. So Nikon announced the development of the D6 at a time when the world is really being taken over by mirrorless cameras. The announcement really came as a surprise to many people, including me, when we heard that Nikon is developing a new flagship full-frame DSLR. Because after the release of the Z6 and the Z7 last year, at least I felt that it was end of the road for the DSLR as far as Nikon is concerned, and there would be no further DSLR development from them. But they have really managed to surprise us all, and they have announced the D6. Now Nikon is describing the D6 as the best DSLR till date. Well, it has to be, because as technology progresses, with every update, the latest camera is the best of them all. But notwithstanding all that bravado, Nikon really has to provide the performance and the features to back it up. Now, personally speaking, for me, I don't have any doubts that the D6, when it comes out right around about the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, would really win hearts, would make headlines, and would silence all its critics. I know that. I am convinced of that. The D6 is primarily being targeted for sports photographers and photojournalists, so it makes sense that it would come out during the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Now, there are certain features which I think it must have to compete against the currently existing mirrorless cameras, which are doing exceedingly well in the world market. For instance, some of the mirrorless cameras of Sony and of some of the mirrorless cameras that Nikon itself has produced. Well, for the Nikon D6 to really succeed, it must have really fast and accurate autofocus. As far as autofocus performance is concerned, I believe the A9 and the upcoming A9 II have really set the standards for full-frame cameras of that range. Now, for the D6 to really succeed, I believe it has to really at least come close to that performance, if not matching it exactly. I don't mean that I'm expecting the D6 to offer what the A9 II would be offering in exact terms, but at least this D6 can do, it's offer something comparable. The D5 had excellent autofocus capabilities with 153 focus points, of which 99 were cross types, and 12 frames per second shooting capability. But it was good then. To be good now, D6 has to improve on D5's performance and bring it sort of a few notches higher. Well, both the Nikon Z6 and the Z7 had it, so I'm expecting the D6 to get it as well. Yes, I'm talking about built-in image stabilization. Earlier, when companies like Pentax and Olympus were introducing built-in image stabilization with their cameras, Nikon counted as the benefits of having image stabilization within lens. But I think the time has come for Nikon to move away from that approach and really introduce built-in image stabilization, or IBIS, with one of their DSLRs. In fact, if rumors are to be believed, the D6 announcement got delayed because Nikon was trying to integrate built-in image stabilization with the D6. So I think built-in image stabilization with the D6 is something that we are going to be seeing with when the camera comes out, and it's almost a given that it would have it. Now there's hush saying that the D6 might get 4K shooting capability at 60 FPS. The D5 had 4K capability, but at 30 FPS. Now I believe 4K at 60 FPS is not really needed. But imagine the headlines if really the D6 gets 4K at 60 FPS. I mean, the ground would shake, the earth would move, and people who are now doubting the D6 would really have to eat their words then. But it's just one of those fancy dreams I have. I really don't think the D6 would have 4K at 60 FPS. Now I'm hoping the D6 will have a new sensor with an increased pixel count. The D5 had a sensor with 20 megapixel, and I'm hoping the D6 would get a new sensor with some bit of more megapixel. Now I'm not a pixel peeper, but I always believe that a few extra pixels always help out. I believe the D6 would get around 24 megapixel sensor. This is sort of the standard these days for full frame cameras, and I think it is almost given that a 24 megapixel sensor that we would be seeing on the D6. Now there are many things people are expecting the D6 to have, and I'm not sure how much Nikon would be able to satisfy them. I am pretty sure that whenever the D6 come out, it would be an out-and-out winner, and the people who are doubting it would be really made to eat their words. I just hope it doesn't happen with me. Anyways, so that's it. If you do tell me what are your expectations from the Nikon D6, and do write them in the comment box. If you like the video, do give it a thumbs up, do share it, do write your comments, praising me, deriding me, whatever, and do subscribe to the channel. When you're subscribing, just press the bell icon for future video notifications. So that's it for now. Till the next time.